Welcome back to Out There Area AM channel, folks, where we rip into the cosmic unknown, chasing truths that'll make your heart pound and your mind race. I'm Scott, your guide through history's wildest mysteries, a fella who spent years sifting through old reports and UFO tales that keep us staring at the sky. Today, we're diving into a case so bold, so in your face, it happened in broad daylight over one of America's busiest airports, the 2006 O'Hare Airport UFO incident. This ain't a fleeting glimpse. It's a saucer-shaped object hovering over Chicago, seen by pilots, ground crews, and airline workers, then punching through the clouds like a bullet. Picture it. November 7th, 2006, O'Hare International Airport. A strange metallic craft hovers over a busy gate, clear as day, before shooting straight up, leaving witnesses stunned and the government dodging questions. Alien craft or something else? The evidence is hard to shake, y'all. Strap in, 'cause we're about to soar into a mystery that'll grip you tight. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's hunt for the truth together. Let's roll back to November 7th, 2006. The world's humming along. George W. Bush is in office. The Iraq War's grinding on, and UFOs are gaining traction after cases like Nimitz. O'Hare International Airport in Chicago is a juggernaut, handling thousands of flights daily with pilots and ground crews who've seen it all. Or so they thought. On this cloudy afternoon, something wild is about to unfold right over Gate C-17. It's around 4:15 p.m. with a gray, overcast sky. A United Airlines ramp worker pushing a plane back from Gate C-17 looks up and freezes. Hovering about 1,500 feet up is a metallic, saucer-shaped object, gray and featureless, maybe 20 to 30 feet wide. It's silent, steady, just sitting there in broad daylight. The worker radios his supervisor, and soon a dozen witnesses, pilots, mechanics, gate agents, are staring at it. One pilot, waiting to taxi, leans out his cockpit window, stunned. A ground controller in the tower spots it too, though it's invisible on radar. Witnesses describe a classic flying saucer, smooth, no lights, no markings, just a dark gray disk against the clouds. It hovers for several minutes, calm as you please, while planes move below. Then, in a flash, it shoots straight up, punching a perfect blue hole through the cloud deck, like it burned through in seconds. The hole lingers edges sharp before closing up. No sound, no trail, no nothing. The sighting lasts 5 to 10 minutes, seen by trained professionals, folks who know planes, weather, and balloons. Word spreads fast among United Airlines staff, but management clamps down, telling workers to keep quiet. By nightfall, whispers hit the press, and the story's about to break wide open. This wasn't a desert mirage or a lone nut's tale. This was a bold, daylight UFO over a major airport, and people saw it clear as day. The O'Hare UFO didn't fade into the Chicago skyline. It left a trail of witnesses and a firestorm of questions. At least 12 United Airlines employees, pilots, ramp workers, supervisors, mechanics, saw the saucer, with some estimates putting it closer to 20. A pilot reported it to the control tower, but radar showed nothing, despite clear visual sightings. A ground worker described it as like a frisbee, but metal, just hanging there. Another said the cloud hole it left was like a cartoon punch-out, perfectly round. The story broke in January 2007 when the Chicago Tribune published a bombshell article based on witness interviews and leaked FAA audio. The National Aviation Reporting Center on Anomalous Phenomena, NARCAP, led by Dr. Richard Haynes, dug into the case, collecting detailed accounts. Witnesses were credible, trained aviation pros, not UFO fanatics. Some sketched the saucer, showing a classic disk with no visible propulsion. The FAA and United Airlines, they stonewalled. The FAA initially denied any record of the incident, claiming no reports were filed. But the Tribune got hold of audio where a United supervisor and an FAA controller discussed the sighting, with the controller saying, "I saw it too, but it's not on radar." The FAA later backtracked, calling it a weather phenomenon, maybe a vortex or cloud effect. Witnesses scoffed. No weather quirk hovers like a craft or punches a hole in clouds. Skeptics had a field day. The leading theory was a lenticular cloud, a lens-shaped formation that can look saucer-like. But lenticular clouds don't hover for minutes or shoot upward, leaving a hole. Others suggested a balloon or military drone, but balloons don't move that fast, and no military ops were logged over O'Hare that day. The radar silence could point to stealth tech, human or otherwise. But the FAA's quick dismissal raised eyebrows. Then there's the cover-up angle. United Airlines reportedly told employees to zip it, threatening job consequences. Some witnesses, fearing for their careers, stayed anonymous. The FAA's audio was only released after a Freedom of Information Act request, and even then, key details were sparse. NARCAP's report noted the stigma around UFOs kept more witnesses quiet. Why the rush to shut this down? The O'Hare UFO incident is a tangle of theories, each one pulling you deeper into the unknown. Let's break them down. Theory 1. Extraterrestrial visitor. The boldest take says this was an alien craft, bold enough to hover over a major airport in daylight. The saucer shape, silent hover, and lightning-fast ascent. Match classic UFO reports from Roswell to Nimitz. Witnesses, trained pilots and crew, saw no human tech markers. UFO researchers like Dr. Haynes argue the cloud hole suggests energy we don't understand. Was this a scout ship testing our reactions like the East Coast UAPs? Theory 2. Classified military tech skeptics lean toward a U.S. black project, maybe a stealth drone or experimental craft. O'Hare's near military bases, and the radar silence could point to advanced tech, but why test it over a civilian airport, risking mass exposure? And why would United pilots, cleared for sensitive ops, not recognize it? The cover-up vibes, FAA silence, employee gag orders, keep this theory alive. Theory 3, natural phenomenon or mistake. The FAA's weather excuse, lenticular clouds or vortices, falls flat. Clouds don't hover or shoot upward, balloons or debris. They don't match the witnesses' consistent descriptions or the cloud punch-in exit. Mice identification by aviation pros in clear daylight is a stretch, especially with multiple vantage points. The O'Hare incident didn't just spook Chicago, it sent ripples worldwide. The Chicago Tribune story hit CNN, Fox News, and international outlets, fueling UFO debates. It inspired episodes of UFO Hunters and drew comparisons to Nimitz and Phoenix. The case pushed the UFO stigma closer to the mainstream, with pilots speaking out despite risks. It also amped up calls for transparency. Why'd the FAA dodge, and what's with the missing radar data? The 2006 O'Hare Airport UFO incident ain't just a story. It's a flare in the sky, blazing with questions we can't dodge. Was an alien craft bold enough to hover over Chicago's busiest airport, showing itself to pros? Or was it a human secret, buried under corporate and government silence? Nearly 20 years later, the witness accounts, leaked audio, and that eerie cloud hole keep this case alive, daring us to ask, what's out there staring us down in broad daylight? What hits hardest is the audacity. Trained pilots and crews, in clear view, seeing something they couldn't explain. The FAA's brush-off, United's gag orders, and the lack of radar data make this a cornerstone of UFO lore. It's a challenge to what we think is real, and it's not going away. Now, I want to hear from you, folks. Was O'Hare an alien flyby, or a classified test gone public? Drop your take in the comments, and if you've ever seen lights or shapes in the sky that gave you chills, anything at all, spill it. We're listening. If you're itching for more cosmic riddles, smash that like button and subscribe to Out There Area AM channel. Next up, we're diving into the 1961 Betty and Barney Hill abduction. The first alien abduction case that shook the world. Aliens or something else? Stay tuned. Thanks for riding along, y'all. Keep your eyes on the sky, but don't blink. Something might be staring back.